Okay, hello everyone. This is Dominic Grass here. Welcome to a webinar on Twilio implementation in GreenWay. Glad to see that you were able to join. The whole webinar will take about an hour. After the main part, we'll dive into a Q&A session. So feel free to ask about anything. Do not hesitate to ask any questions. You can do that in chat as we go along. You don't have to jot notes down and write that down later. So we'll answer any questions. If we can always do some follow-ups via email or any other channel of communication if needed. Let me introduce you to two of our great guests today. First, Grzegorz Sońta, Mass Market Department Director at GreenWay Polska, an expert in the field of customer service and client management, with strong track record of delivering exceptional customer experiences. He excels in developing customer acquisitions and retention strategies, driving cost departmental initiatives. Grzegorz, could you say more about your company? Explain briefly what your main focus is so that our listeners know more about your company.
Hi, everyone. Glad to be here. Thank you, Dominic, for your introduction. Probably everyone who have electric vehicle in Poland knows about our company, but to those who don't know, I will tell something more. So we are market leader in electric vehicle charging services in Central Eastern Europe. Our company was founded in 2011 in Slovakia, and currently we operate successfully in Poland and in Slovakia within the aim to expand to the other countries. And what is the most important? We are the largest fast charging station network in Poland. Our mission is to make electric vehicle available and preferred option to majority of all drivers. We also enable seamless travel around Europe at the station of our roaming partners. There is over 35,000 locations, and you just need register only in our GreenWay network. To support development of electromobility, we operate in two ways. So first of all, we build our own network charging stations, but also we offer comprehensive solution in the fields of electromobility to companies and institutions that want to implement them. And last but not least, and personally for me the most important, and important as well according to the subject of this webinar, our main focus is on customers. So we are really customer-centric organization, and we are building our offer based on our customer needs.
Thank you, Grzegorz. Great to be here with you. Now, let me introduce our second expert. Please meet Richard Buckman, RSI Partner Alliance Manager, Emerging Markets at Twilio. Richard is particularly interested in utilization of digital technologies. He worked in the early 2000s for Nuance, where using speech and AI to improve customer service experience at companies such as British Airways or Vodafone. So early 2000s, AI. I mean, Richard has been doing that stuff since over 2 decades before it was even fashionable. It's a hot topic right now, and it shows Richard's experience. Richard, would you be able to share a couple more details about your company?
Yeah, of course. So as thanks very much, Dominic. So I'm Richard Buckham from Twilio. So Twilio was founded in 2008 by Jeff Lawson, our current CEO and founder. He's the inspiration behind the company. So his vision was to provide a super network that provided connectivity from the PSTN to the internet with some of our fabulous APIs. So we've been working with innovative companies such as Polcode, and GreenWay to provide fabulous solutions that engage our technology, both from a software perspective and also from an API perspective. So as the company has grown, we've developed a number of different solutions on top of our APIs, including our omni-channel contact solution, some verification products to connect our super network with some of our software solutions, as I've said. So some pretty amazing statistics after 15 years in business. As I said, we were founded in 2008. Current revenue is just under $4 billion. We employ about 6,000 people. We're focusing heavily on disruptors in the markets, such as GreenWay, that are using some of our APIs and software products. So really delighted to support both Polkad, our partner, and GreenWay, our customer. So happy to take some questions later, but that's a very brief overview of Twilio.
Thanks, Richard. Thanks, Shagger. Let me maybe share a couple more words about me, and then we'll dive right into it. My name is Dominic Grass. I'm a senior project manager at Polkad. I'm joined today with two experts who've been doing the best at what they do for over 2 decades. I'm proud to be in that 2-decade club as well in IT industry. While Polkad, I'm on other projects. I'm working on things. I'm managing projects in fintech industry, large e-commerce sites, like for instance for a French company that has 80 stores in one place. We did a podcast platform for American radio host, or like a B2B platform for shipping broker in Denmark. So those are some of the examples. In general, during the 17 years of Polkad's existence, we delivered 1,400 projects, and yes, 1,400. That sounds like a large number, but we've been fortunate to be large enough, to be skilled enough, and working with the right partners to actually be able to deliver that amount of projects. So for US clients, Canadian clients, UK, Western Europe, pretty much all over the globe. Our key services include IT consultancy, new product delivery, managed IT services, design and development. And we're very, very proud to be an official technology partner of Twilio, and that allows us to have that stamp of approval of quality and being able to deliver some cutting edge technology solutions. But enough about us, gentlemen. Are you ready? Let's dive into it.
Yeah, sure. Let's start.
Thanks. So for those of you who are just joining us, let me just quickly recap. We're here today to discuss why GreenWay, the largest electric vehicle charging network in Poland, decided to implement Twilio IVR. Grzegorz, could you maybe dive more into it? Could you please start by presenting us with some of the important facts about GreenWay that support your support center?
Yes, sure. Our GreenWay Support Center is at customers' disposal 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So I can say that we have no break, and we need to ensuring that our companies, clients have a comprehensive, always available support network. We have 5 diverse contact channels, so you can reach us via phone, via chat, via email. We have as well a web form on our website, and even very popular, especially in Poland, service for EV drivers, PlugShare. We receive some notification from our customers via this service. This wide range of communication channel has been put in place to ensure customers can reach us in the way that is most convenient for them anytime, of course. However, the most popular and the most frequently means of communication are phones. They account for nearly 3/4 of share of contact channels. And most of our customer calls come from problems faced in this field, especially when they face some difficulties when they would like to initiate a charging session.
Tell us more about the challenges the GreenWay is facing. What was the driving force behind your choice?
The main problem was that we were using an outdated voice response systems. Our IVR was essentially the calling version of welcome desk to our business. It was the first and often only point of interaction that users had with us. But unfortunately, instead of delighting our clients and users, it was sometimes, many times, unfortunately, frustrating them because it wasn't efficient at solving their problems.
Yeah, that sounds like a common yet a significant issue. It sounds like your customer service was affected by that as well, right?
Well, as the number of phone calls began to increase, and as you can see on this graph, we noticed every year 3 times, even 4 times more calls than in the previous year. And that's why our existing solution became so overwhelmed. The most calls, what is unavailable, unbelievable that most calls was dropped after 30 seconds. Yeah, after 30 seconds, and to reconnect, the customer had to call us again. And this was a major problem because we were feeling like we were breaking our promise to our customers. What we promised that if someone couldn't reach us, we'll call them back. But it was far too easy to overlook a missed call in this situation.
So Grzegorz, I have a quick question for you. So
Yeah.
if we were looking at these metrics 1 year away, are you looking to reduce the number of voice calls by using chatbots and AI
Yeah.
with these
Yes.
increasing number of
Yeah.
calls? Okay,
But
cool.
increasing number also is because of number of our charging sessions, number of our clients
Yes, of
growth,
course.
because of our market is growing very fast. Yeah, but maybe I will explain you one of our indicator. We start to measure it 3 years ago. Customer service efficiency, we called it. It's a number of calls divide the number of charging sessions. And 3 years ago, this indicator we had on the level 18%. Yeah, so we can say that 18% of our clients using our chargers needed to call our support center because they had some difficulties, some problems, or they couldn't solve this problem alone using self-service.
Yeah.
And now this indicator is below 7%. Yeah, so we will manage to reduce number of calls based on number of charging sessions, based on number of operations.
And Grzegorz, I'm really interested. I'm sure the listeners would be equally interested. So how have you done that? Have you used Twilio technology?
Yes, we are using Twilio Studio, and this is exactly the topic of this webinar. We will explain everything. I will explain everything with Dominic. What functionality and how it will what have and then an impact on our side.
Precisely. I mean, you're looking at almost like exponential growth year by year in the number of phone calls you have to handle. I'm guessing it must have been super tough for your consultants as well, right? I mean, it's just a lot of work.
for our consultants.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has really big impact for them. Suddenly, our consultant had no idea what happening on the line. They didn't know if someone was calling or how long they had been waiting. They don't have customer data at hand either. It was like every call was really a big surprise for them.
Yeah, and then it seems like at that same time you realized you needed some KPIs, some of the indicators that you mentioned before. Can you talk a bit more about that?
Yes, that's correct. We needed a way to keep track of our KPIs in real time to be able to react better to the calls. And for example, if we lost 2 hours on calls, it could be impossible for us to make up the loss within the month, but it was impossible to do with the current solution. So yeah, this is exactly what was the answer, and here came Twilio.
And precisely just like Richard said, hey, you know what? Looks like what you need is something what Twilio can do for you. Grzegorz, can you maybe dive deeper into how Twilio Studio help you improve the customer experience?
Yeah, sure. With Twilio dashboard, our consultants could see what was happening on the line and prepare for the call. So I can explain you. It looked like that we knew what the caller wants before they even asked. So thanks to this, we started reacting much better and faster to the calls. Now, 85% of our calls are answered in 30 seconds or less. And this answer was this happens for these problems we had was built a modern IVR system that went far beyond the traditional press one responses, and that we could tailor as we needed. It gave our customer more dynamic experience. What we wanted was to make it easy for our customers to navigate through a smart script IVR system and provide them with more detailed scenarios through which they could resolve their issues.
So, actually, could you actually go give us an example of how the system works before we go any further?
Yeah, sure. I give you one example. The new IVR in Twilio Studio, for example, allow us to quickly convey some information about mass outages or some failures we faced on our network or mobile application which is used by our clients. In such events, when something when it happened, all we need to do is just create and appreciate voice response. This way, customers are informed about the causes of the outage without the need to connect with the consultant. How it looks from client's perspective, because this is the most important for us. Yeah. So the new IVR system in Twilio Studio brings about a seamless, efficient experience when dealing with these mass problems, mass outages of the station or a mobile application they rely on. So when an outage occurs, instead of waiting in a long queue to speak to a consultant, sometimes it happened on the line, or being completely uncertain about the situation. So the system immediately provides them with a well-crafted voice message explaining the nature and the reason behind the outage. This not only save times for our customers, but also allows our agents to focus on more complex issues than just only explaining once again like a machine what's going on. And during peak calling periods, it was especially important. This feature turned out to be especially useful, as our agents are no longer feeling overwhelmed with calls.
Sounds exciting. Sounds like a big help. So we've spoken about the need, and Richard, sorry.
Yeah, no, I was just going to ask Grzegorz. So with the prevalence of WhatsApp and SMS, is there an intention to combine those kind of outreaches to your customers that have issues with the charging points, or is it just on the IVR presently
No,
at the moment?
it's just on the IVR, so we are not using this tool yet. But yeah, we are thinking about it. The main tool of using our charging infrastructure is our mobile app. So this is as well kind of a communication channel with our clients, and we used some notification in mobile application to inform clients about some global issues. But a lot of our clients, especially those who use RFID cards, when they face some problems, as you can see on the share of all contacts, they usually call us. Yeah, and when they call us, we can reduce number of calls because they hear what is going on, what is the problem, and they are they know that we are on the way to resolve it. Yeah, so they. Yeah.
Interesting. So,
but we know, of course, Richard, that Twilio Studio and Twilio give us much more possibilities. We are not using at the moment, but we still develop this tool.
Cool. Yeah, very interesting. It's the reason why I ask is so many companies such as yourselves are looking to drive both cost out of their business, but also trying to improve, their customer sats. And by using some of the multi-channel, omni-channel type facilities and features within Twilio Flex, this can be, a game changer for, the customer experience. So cool. Thanks for sharing that, Grzegorz.
Sounds like exciting topics. I could probably go on and on about possibilities of what Twilio can do. We started up with the need, with the description of a problem. All of a sudden, it could go all kinds of ways, like omni-channel, almost like Richard is saying. So let's maybe talk about that in particular, like the solution that we have at hand. Which is almost like the second part of our webinar today. So we talked about GreenWay, we talked about the problem statement, the need. Let's maybe focus on how you actually solved your clients' problems. So this is where at Polcode, Twilio official technology partner, steps in and to help Grzegorz's team to implement Twilio Studio. And Grzegorz, you told us a bit about the problems you faced. Let's get more into the area of the changes that actually were a game changer for GreenWay. Can you maybe share some more insights on that?
Yeah. Twilio Studio allow us to create a more dynamic and user-friendly IVR system. So this is the most important benefit of the implementation. The integration with our CRM Zoho Desk was as well a significant step forward for us.
Yeah, the CRM integration. That was the like a key part of the project. Can you tell us more about how you use that integration to improve your service?
The integration with Zoho Desk has been really invaluable. It allows us to easily track support tickets, and we also have very rich customer data, all call recordings, and any call details as we made need right inside the application. That also made keeping logs for a previous interaction much smoother. So our overall efficiency, customer service got a significant boost.
That sounds good. It sounds like the more rich data you get, the better service you can provide. We knew how important it is. Go ahead, Richard. Yeah.
So,
Sorry.
Gregor, I was just interested to get a view from you on what kind of integration you've done with your CRM. So, is this to provide insights into previous history from the company or from the customer interaction? So, what kind of data were you passing between the CRM and the contact center and your agents? Well, I think it would be really interesting to hear this.
What data you?
Yeah. So is it for looking at previous history and calls,
Yeah,
and analyzing that and looking at ways to reduce call handle times, provide insights? Okay,
from
cool.
customer service, the most important is for us the history of all contacts.
Yeah.
So we can analyze what was the main issues of the contact, and we have all notes, we have all recordings of the clients, and this is the main area we are using CRM. And Twilio integration, but we need some more, as well, because it's not enough just to have an interaction. At the moment, we are using our agents are using different systems as well, so they need to have some supportive system to have a history of charging sessions, for example, which is very important, and it's quite difficult for them to serve the client when they don't have information in one place.
I think this is a common issue now with contact center agents.
Exactly.
Is that they need to access so many different systems. And one of the benefits of Twilio is you've got this single pane where you can use our UI to have on one screen to look at your CRM, to look at your the issues with maybe your network, and have it all in front of the contact center agent, because it's a tough job now, contact center agents have to perform.
I fully agree. And as I told you, we consider still the Twilio as, and we will still, we at the moment develop our dashboard based on Twilio Studio. So this is, but we are not able to do everything very, very fast immediately. So everything needs have sometimes.
No, we get that. There's always a journey, isn't there?
That's true.
As you get increase in your business, which results potentially in more calls. So it's a never-ending circle sometimes. Okay, cool. Thank you, Gregor.
Thanks, gentlemen. I mean, Gregor, I recollect, this was emphasized many times. We knew how important the integration was, and will be for your business. So we worked hard to get you on the right track to ensure that everything works seamlessly. I mean, are there any other innovative solutions, innovative customer engagement features that you're planning to implement, or were able to implement already?
Yes, thanks to Twilio Studio, we are able to create richer interaction pathways as well. So we didn't want to just use typical press one, yeah. So we used IVR script to design different scenarios and call paths. For example, we could provide callers with instruction how to how they can connect with the consultant, give them information about service disruption or downtime, or share or guide for using EV chargers. So kind of voice chat, I would say.
Nice. That's impressive. So I understand you can also customize and modify those paths as needed.
Yeah, we need IVR. We can IVR's script flexibility are actually a huge advantage for us, and we can adapt our call center on the fly. For instance, I already mentioned about this. Yeah, that we have this global service disruption at the one point, and thanks to this flexible script, we can just record and play at the beginning the message informing the callers about the situation, and then would help us significantly reduce number of calls to our agents. Since we could use the automated message to reassure the caller that they are working to resolve the issue.
That's fantastic. You know, it's a great way to exceed almost your customers' expectations, right?
And I would say the best part is that we can continue to improve our service by adding new features to our IVR system. Yeah. So as you can see, Richard, there is a SMS, those voice messages, voice recognition. Yeah. We are not using it at the moment, but there is a big space for it. And this was actually another reason why we chose develop our solution with Twilio.
So it looks like Twilio Studio has not only given you a ton of insights, like Richard mentioned before, like a one central pane with all kinds of insightful information, but it looks like you can use that to enhance your performance and at the same time enhance your customer service, which is phenomenal to hear. But as I recollect, the whole process wasn't smooth sailing throughout, right? I remember we did face some hurdles along the way.
Yeah, we did. So the biggest technical challenges was probably recording and storing incoming requests from Twilio and Zoho, and linking them when they related to the same call.
Okay.
Another technical difficulty was optimizing data retrieval from the database about current calls, so it didn't consume too many resources.
So how did you overcome those obstacles?
With Polkod help, we developed two services. So first was a front end built in Next.js, and the second one was a backend built on Laravel. And this allows us to handle the large volume of data and ensure that our system was efficient and reliable.
Sounds like problem solving at its finest. So you also had a custom dashboard developed for GreenWay hotline. Can you share how it improved your operations?
Yeah, well, the dashboard has been a real game changer for us. It displays simple but very crucial statistic for us, for our agents, as the number of calls received or call dropped by users who disconnected while waiting in the queue. What is important, all our agents work at home, in home office system. Yeah, so they don't have typical for call centers dashboards, and they needed to know what is going on the line. So we also have a call history tracker that covers last 24 hours, providing us with detailed information about the caller, call duration, and the phone line or agent that serve the connection.
And maybe to add one more bit to it, from our perspective, from Polkad's end, we ensured that the dashboard was intuitive enough and user friendly. You know, we have UX designers, graphic designers to make it easy for GreenWay's management to monitor and manage the hotline efficiently. But let's maybe talk a bit more about the final outcome, which is also an important piece of our today's webinar.
So since I already hinted at a minute ago, let's talk about the result we got from implementing Twilio IVR with Polkad. Like I just said, the result have been nothing short of impressive. I already mentioned some of major benefits GreenWay got from working together with Twilio and Polkad on the project during our previous segment. So first was that we managed to enhance our customer service level thanks to the customizable IVR. Very important was for us that abandonment rate has dropped from 13%, really high, and now is below 5%. Now the current score is even 3% only. The average waiting time has decreased from 57 seconds to 24 seconds. And what I'm really proud of, and what is the most important achievement for me, is a high customer service satisfaction index. So we have over 90% positive ratings, as you can see on the number of our contacts. So within nearly 3 times the number of our contacts handled. So we still have very positive clients' feedback. And we managed to increase from 75% to 85% our service level. Service level is percentage of calls answered within 30 seconds. The next is that the integration gave us a way to analyze our caller flows and detail, but also improve our traffic tracking and reporting capabilities using the real-time performance metrics. And we also can now translate the data gathering into actionable insights, which help us a lot in improving our KPIs and business development strategy. But what I also like to mention, and for me personally, is the biggest achievement of this project is how much our callers are happy with the new solution. Our customers are really very satisfied. And we got really plenty of comments that with Twilio powering our hotline, our clients find it easier, faster, more convenient to access our GreenWay support center. And here, especially dynamic IVR, they can be quickly routed to the right agent, not having to worry, like it was in the previous time, about the connectivity suddenly falling, which was a big problem for many callers.
Grzegorz, this is a fabulous use case. So some of the metrics that you share there are absolutely fabulous, and it resonates very well with the typical Twilio customer, such as a Netflix or an Airbnb, who are early disruptors in the market. So I think you've really showcased, with the help of whole code, the true power of Twilio. So we would say that, GreenWay is an innovator, a disruptor. And if you look through the Twilio customers, whether it be a digital bank, whether it be, as you are providing, power to the new technology of battery powered cars, it's a fabulous use case. So no, that was super metrics.
Thank you. But what I would like to mention as well, that this feature inside Twilio also made our support agents jobs much smoother. So it's impact not only customer but our agents. So this call automation feature, call script, made easier for them to handle call during peak calling periods. So this way we could reduce some of the pressure they were under. And of course, they were not longer surprised by incoming calls, as it was before. So all calls are now reported in the Twilio dashboard. Thanks to this, we also know how many missed calls they had and who to call. Because as we promised, we always call back to all our clients.
Gregos, this is a very interesting metric. I'll tell you for the reason why. Since COVID, we've found with our analysis at Twilio that contact center retention of agents is one of the big metrics that many contact centers now report on, because it's so difficult now to keep hold of good contact center agents, and they do require a lot more training than they used to do, because they've got to access multiple systems, whether it be a CRM, whether it be across multi-channel. So that's a really interesting observation you've shared with the guys.
I think it's also worth mentioning. I'm not sure if you guys caught that, but on one of the pieces of information that Gregos was mentioning, Gregos reported a drop from like a 15% abandonment rate down to 5, but yet you mentioned it's actually 3 today. So as we go along, this keeps improving. So we didn't stop there at the implementation. You just keep getting more and more benefits out of this, which is great. So let's see what's next then. This is the third part of the agenda for today, and as we get closer to a wrap up, let's talk about the future. Gregos, what are GreenWay's in general future plans in terms of improving the system, the solution here?
We've learned a lot from our experience with Twilio IVR. And one key lesson is that integrating CRM with Twilio often requires using another CRM service through which the company conduct main activities like making calls and maintaining a customer database. This type of integration process can be time consuming and sometimes requires a roundabout approach. So it's important to factor in this time in our estimates.
That's a great point, Gregos. And I understand that the more questions we receive on your webhooks, the more they differ from each other. Specifically, if you don't have common identifiers, the harder it is to link them together.
Yeah, exactly, Dominic. Storing them in the database, linking them in the groups, and creating queries about them became quite complicated. And so it's very important to remember to cache as much data as possible, as queries can be resource intensive.
It's a definitely valuable lesson for a company looking to keep improving the system. Richard, from your perspective, from the solution provider, Twilio technology, what kind of solutions could be used to further even improve on the plans that GreenWay has?
So I think Gregos has touched on it a little bit earlier, as I have done. So So essentially, we've got a full omni-channel contact center which can prioritize tasks across all channels, could make things smoother potentially in the GreenWay contact center. We've got a very powerful reporting tool called Insights, which could add to some of the reports that you've got already. The push towards, if possible, more digital talent utilization. So the customer experience is improved. We get some amazing use cases with some of the digital banks where they use Twilio, and these banks and digital banks where there's large amounts of money being pushed around by investors and not even touching a voice agent, and it's all done on digital channels. So there really is a big push towards digital channels, the omni-channel prioritization of tasks. Gregos touched on the fact that chatbots and AI and speech could be utilized as well. So I think that GreenWay and you guys at Polcode have done a fantastic job in using our technology as it is now. So I think, yeah, I've sort of summarized as such. So omni-channel contact center, more digitization, and maybe the use of some of our insights reporting on the desktop could be added features.
Yeah,
It's a great summary.
We are on the beginning on the road, and we are in this this level that we don't need to use a lot of self-service and multi self-service channels. Yeah, but yeah, when our the number of our contact will increase in the next years, so we will look at this kind of solution. We will develop in this way, exactly as you explain, Richard.
Thanks, Gregos.
That's a great note to end on, right? That there's more to improve on. There's possibilities. There's growth where growth is actually anticipated or lowered. Let's say abandonment rates. So it looks like we reached a point in the presentation, and now it's time to open the floor to any burning questions, or general questions, or precise questions to our guests. Let's see. Let me see. There's several places where these questions are coming in. So let's start from. Looks like we have something that relates to KPI. 1 second. The question is there a difference between your KPIs of GreenWay and other market competitors? Grzegorz, what are your thoughts about that? It looks like your KPIs and the ones of a general market.
Yeah, so in customer service, we are using some general KPIs, which are typical for all call centers. Yeah, but as I already mentioned, we have this specific KPIs, which is typical for our company. But I know as well one of the our competitor in Western Europe, the really huge charging services network, and use the same indicator. They name it in the different way. We called it customer service efficiency. Yes, this is the number of contacts divided the number of charging sessions, and this is something which is specific for us. And as I told you, we started to measure it 3 years ago, and thanks to such a solutions like Twilio Studio, we are able to reduce number of contacts, because for us the contact is the cost. Yeah, and reducing number of contacts direct contacts to our agents, of course, we saving money.
Thanks, Grzegorz. Looks like we have another question coming in through this channel, public channel. A business question. This is a pressing question. From business perspective, do you think it was a good investment? Grzegorz, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, sure. So I already told it that to help us to save money, because when we are able to reduce number of contacts, so we reduce cost of all customer service. Yeah, our customer service is based on outsourcing company, outsourcing call center. So we need to pay for each contact, each call. Yeah, and this was very good example. This mass failures. Yeah, when we didn't have in the past, when we didn't use Twilio Studio, all these kind of questions, inquiries from the clients about mass failures went directly to the agents, and we needed to pay for them. And now, when we have this dynamic IVR, we can record some message, put some message to the IVR, so the clients just only are informed about the problem, and we don't need to pay to our external partner for serving those contacts. So definitely, it was a very good investment. And as I mentioned as well, we still have very positive feedback from our clients as well. This is for us the most crucial. We are happy when our clients are satisfied and happy.
That kind of goes back to Richard's point before earlier, where when Richard mentioned that recently we've started monitoring, like the industry started monitoring customer service rep retention rates, almost like quality of the services also on the radar now. So now if you're lowering the dependency on constant contacts to, let's say, a service provider that probably might not meet the needs, then I think you're winning on that perspective as well. All right, let me look at another question here. I believe there might be two of them that are sort of related. Yeah, I think we can combine it too. How long did it take to implement the solution? And there's also a question about number of experts at Paul Code. Grzegorz, if you could talk more about the length of implementation.
Okay, so the basic implementation took about 6 months, but we still develop this tool, so we are still still cooperate with Paul Code, and for example, we develop our dashboard and give some more feature there, as well. Some we are doing to develop soon Twilio Studio. To change a little bit scenarios, to add some more paths on the IVR, and what is interesting here, we are going to connect Twilio Studio with our clients database to have to identify the clients who will call us. I'll give you an example. When the client will call us, and for example, his account is blocked, we'll know this because in our system the account is blocked. So the client will receive automatic information. What is the reason of blocking account? And how to solve this problem. without connecting to the agent. Yeah. So this is, I would say, long perspective development. But basic implementation took 6 months.
Thanks, Grzegorz. Looks like I have 2 questions that I could possibly address myself here. There's a question about how many developers do we have with Twilio experience at Polcode, and some of the biggest challenges from our perspective in the project. So as far as Twilio staffing, not only do we have people with experience, they're actually certified, official Twilio technology partner certified developers. There's over 30 staff like that at Polcode today, and that number keeps growing. And the biggest challenge, I believe it's something, Grzegorz, you also touched upon. That was when we talked about the integration points with CRM. You know, we had some research to do there, some analysis to find out exactly how things map out, how to integrate that information best. There was some thinking process, some research, some design to do over there. But it wasn't a problem. It's just a nice challenge to have.
And
Okay.
Dominic, just to add to what you've said, our relationship, the Twilio relationship with Polcode, has developed over quite a few years now. So if we look at some of the other solutions that Polcode are skilled in, there's the SendGrid email Twilio solution that the Polcode guys are accredited to implement and sell. Flex also, the omnichannel contact center, and then some of the programmable voice and SMS and WhatsApp solutions as well. So as Dominic said, there's a raft of accreditations across both our APIs and also our software solutions as well, which include Flex, the contact center solution, SendGrid email, and some of our verification solutions. So, you know, we're really proud to be working with the guys at Polcode.
Thank you, Richard. I mean, likewise, this has been a great journey. You know, from technical perspective, like SendGrid is nothing super new on the market. That has been a key player in its niche. So we definitely continue to use it. Great success with it. And we're probably not alone in saying that. So yeah, Twilio has been it's been a really reliable partner here, reliable technology, great way to lead to successful implementations. I'm trying to see if there's anything else on the Q&A radar. Just checking a couple more places. I believe we touched on all the topics that were mentioned, unless there's any new last minute questions coming in the chat. I believe what I could do is actually go to a message about the bonus. We have a bonus for all of the participants, personal free consultation on using Twilio solution. But not only that, if you have any sort of concern, need, an idea, please feel free to reach out. After the webinar, you will receive additional emails from me and from our Procol team with all the necessary details. So feel free to reach out, contact us. You'll find my contact information in the webinar chat, on in social media, and I think we're really welcome any additional questions, any additional requests. So I believe it's time to share a big thank you to Richard and Grzegorz today. Thank you guys for joining us today and sharing the insights.
Thanks, Dominic.
It's been a great journey implementing the solution. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for coming in, finding the time in your busy schedules, wherever you're connecting from, all over the globe. And thank you everyone for joining in. It was great to share some time with you, and we look forward to seeing you in the next webinar. Thank you.
Very
Thanks,
much.
Dominic.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.